can fool the rest, but you can't fool me. You can't fool me. You can fool the rest, but you can't fool me. You can't fool me. You can fool the rest, but you can't fool. You can't fool me. You can fool the rest, but you can't. You can fool the rest, but you can't fool me. You can't fool me. You can fool the rest, but you can't fool me. You can't fool me. You can fool the rest, but you can't fool. You can't fool me. You can fool the rest, but you can't.
So I always do that as normal. But didn't miss anything yet, so that's good. So I want to thank everybody for coming, watching my video, and I'm gonna break down some stuff for you today. I'm gonna break down basically fake pictures and things like that. And how are you, Celine? And show you some stuff. I mean, you can look at them, think about it. You think they're conspiracy theories? They're not. I'm gonna just show it to you. I can't lead a horse to water or sheep to water, all the time. And I will lead you to the water today, but it's up to you to drink the Kool-Aid. So sit back, pay attention a little bit, and, understand that some of the stuff that I'm going to show you, they want it on the internet. And what I mean by that is this. I'm going to show you, like, the locations, right, of FEMA camps. And if they didn't want us to know about it, they would have scrubbed that right off the internet. They scrub whatever they want. What they're doing is they're basically putting stuff out there to put us in fear. I don't personally think we're going to be getting put in camps in America, okay? But they want that idea just going through people's heads. They want you constantly in fear and chaos. And when I say they, globalists, politicians, globalists are controlling our government. So let's just say, they, okay? Now, I'll give you an example. I'm going to show you what they do. They put this stuff out there on purpose. They want you to know. If they didn't want you to know, it wouldn't be on the internet. So you got a video here. Not a video, a picture. 800 FEMA camp locations in North America. I'm sure if they didn't want us to know about that, they would scrub it off the internet. But that's something they want us to know. See, they want us in fear. So one day, they want the world to get so chaotic that we're going to surrender basically most of our freedoms just for peace and security. Now, we have to understand that they're trying to destroy this country. They've been trying to destroy it for 50 years now, at least. These globalists, the elites, they're doing false flags. They've been doing a lot of things to us, taking away our rights without even basically us having any say. I mean, even the Constitution really doesn't protect us as much as we think. Now, sometimes it does if you get into a court with a fair judge. But a lot of the big cases, the judges are already handpicked. Now, what they want, I mean, you can just take a look. They want food prices sky high right now. Everything's going through the roof. These numbers, I don't even believe are good. I think it's way bigger and worse than what they're trying to show us. Gasoline and I mean, it's going to be $7 a gallon in California already. Now, this last picture is the projections from 2020 to 2030. It's showing like a 3,000% increase. That means like food will be 3 times higher in 2030 than we're paying now. That is crazy. Even more, I think. I mean, when I say 3,000%, I don't know what that number is. That chart blew my mind. Also, they want to blame everything. All your prices are going to go up for supply chain, supply chain issues. These are the boats. They're supposed to go in nice, see crowded trucks here. You're going to start to see out of stocks a little bit and a little bit more. And before you know it, you'll be on the pantry line waiting for your little box. That's what's going to happen, I think. Not everywhere, but a lot of places. Some people will always have enough money to buy food at whatever price it is. But these are the things that they're doing. They are doing everything in their power to destroy this country. It's not like 1 or 2 things are happening. Gas, food. They're going crazy with the immigration. They're sending in tons of people. I mean, they're doing forced immigration. They're actually forcing people to come here almost. Putting them in cages, not letting you see all this stuff. Putting kids in cages. That's Obama's deal. He did that shit. Now Biden's doing it. They were complaining about Trump, but Trump didn't do stuff like that. All right? Then they want you, you're going to have to be scared of bioweapons soon because they found these labs. I said it from day one they went into Ukraine. Why weren't they talking about the biolabs? They want you in fear of chemical weapons. You will surrender to the elites for your safety because you will be nervous and scared. Not everyone, but a lot of people will be scared about bioweapons. The fear is where they work best. Create tons of fear. The world right now, when you look at it, it looks like it's upside down, and that's what they want. They want it that way. They want you to think maybe there's a possibility of World War III. We're going to have a red flag event, They're telling you World War III is close, maybe, And this is something that they dwell on. These are evil people we're dealing with. We're not dealing with normal people. They want us to be in fear of a World War III catastrophic event. I personally believe it'll never happen. But they wanted to get to the point where it's this close that you're almost scared shit that it's going to happen. They may hit a city somewhere. I don't know, with a bomb or something. I don't know, maybe to really shake it up. But they want you in fear of World War III. Now, as far as Ukraine, we have to look at this. And I'm not going to sit here and say I'm pro-Russia, pro-Ukraine. I'm just going to be neutral, okay? I feel bad for the people of Russia and Ukraine because it's always the people that suffer, just like Americans. We're going to suffer, not the elites, right? So this is, to me, a color revolution, what's going on in Ukraine. They're covering up a lot of the crimes from 2014 and 15, okay? Right before Trump basically, got in there. It was Obama and Biden. They were doing a lot of shaky stuff. Putin's been complaining since 2014 about all this stuff, genocide in Ukraine, because some of the cities they have a lot of Russians. Putin's been complaining about a lot of things. He don't want NATO, who NATO swore they wouldn't, and they basically have 13. They added 13 more countries into NATO. They told, when the Russians had a federation, that they would dissolve NATO. It never happened. The West is squeezing the East. We have to be realistic about this. And, Putin don't want somebody right on his border. Just like we had that threat where they were saying they were training Chinese soldiers in Canada. Americans were bugging out, right? We don't want any threat like that. So, Putin has been saying a lot of stuff. He's trying to push NATO back. This is the Washington Post. They're showing you CIA, what they're doing. We know not to trust them. These are all different papers that you can see. Just not one paper, plenty of them. So you can see what they're doing. They're expanding. They want to corner Russia, it looks like, militarily. I mean, if they get in Ukraine, they could put missiles in there. They could do whatever they want. So you see there, Canadian soil, when that happened, we bugged out as Americans. So they're saying it's military disinformation. Don't know, just showing you. I don't know what's true, what's not. But we have to understand that we're being lied to about so many different things that we don't really even know where to stand as far as what to believe and what to not believe. So that's a big problem. The way I look at it like this, if you don't read, the newspaper, you don't watch the news, you're not informed at all, right? But if you watch the news or you read the newspaper, you're misinformed. So, what do you do? How do you find the truth? I guess you got to dig down a lot of rabbit holes on the internet and find civilians that are taping stuff and things like that. That's basically the only way you're going to find anything. I mean, you're not being informed. If you avoid it, you're not informed either, right? You're being misinformed or you're not informed. I'd rather almost be not informed than listen to what the media is telling us. I don't trust any of them. Any of the big media organizations, they've all been taken over and bought out. I'll show you something else here. These are some clips of how they're faking news, supposedly, or they're not faking news. We don't know what to believe. So there's one newspaper saying one thing, the other one is saying the other. They're saying that the soldiers in Snake Island, there was 80-something of them, and 13 didn't die, and they're all alive. Here's footage from, I think, a video game or an old footage. You'll see it. I'll show you. But they're showing a lot of different old footages from different wars. There was even one they showed from Iraq. I mean, they're showing you a missile hitting a plane. They're showing you all these different things. But are these things real or are they fake? That is the point we're trying to get to. We're trying to figure out what's real, what's not. They're putting a lot of stuff out there and we don't know. There's a lot of different things going on out there. There's this one girl, investigative reporter, broke it all down, every video that they're showing us, which ones were fake, which ones weren't. They had that Ukraine pilot, they said, shot down 3, 4, 5, 6 Soviet Russian MiGs, and they ended up finding out it's all bullshit. But, these are the things that they're going to show you. So look she can't wait to invest in stock. She's going to put her money into stocks and make a lot of money. I don't know if you see her lately, but you see all these people, they were doing business. Now look at that. Okay, you got that senator there that put a hit out on Putin. So he was in that photo with McCain, and this is going back to when McCain was alive in 2014. So there's been a lot of stuff going on in Ukraine. This isn't any new news. I mean, there's been coups there. Just so happens all their children work for Ukraine in the gas companies and oil companies. So there's a lot of stuff going on out there. And we have to decipher what's true and what's not. Very difficult. Very, very difficult to decipher this stuff. I mean, you got this here, Ukraine Connection. Okay, showing you the prosecutor. He was going after Biden. He worked in Biden's son. Here he is. And this is a video. You can look it online. Biden's basically telling the Ukraine president there, if he doesn't fire that prosecutor that was going after his son, he's not going to give them the $1 billion. This is when he was the vice president. He admits it right on television. He was told to back off. The guy didn't back off. And Biden said, you're not getting the money. So you can watch this video and you will see it. Go online, look for it. It's there. I don't play the sound anymore because I don't want to deal with all the BS. I make these videos and then they want to take them down because the truth will set us free. But they don't want the truth out there. This is why you see. Here we go. I mean, they're leveraging people. They're doing all kinds of stuff. Here's the best, though. You want to see the Ukrainian president? I mean, how could it be possible that this guy's the president of Ukraine? Just watch this video of he's doing like he's dancing like, I don't know, like a drag queen or something. You got to see it. Here we go. So that's the president of Ukraine, Zelensky. Let me show you one more time him doing his dance. This guy's a president? Could you imagine Trump was doing a dance like that? Dressed up like that? What would happen? So that's the president of Ukraine. I guess we should trust that guy, huh? Tell me he ain't an actor. Now they're getting to the point, they're getting so good at it, the globalists and these oligarchs, that what they're doing now, they're hiring actors to be the presidents of countries now. They it's like I mean, the United States, they should just like make, I don't know, Mel Gibson the president. I mean, just get your best actor and make him the president so we can really bullshit the people. Here's another article. About the UN, showing you what's going down. 2014, there were mass graves. They were debunked by journalists who saw them. They're denying it. They're saying there's no such thing. There were illegal burials, they're trying to say. NATO, showing you arms flood. I stand with Ukraine. This is what they want, yeah. So they're bombarding us with a lot of fake news. Now, some of it could be real, but the problem is you're going to have to. Here's Lindsey Graham. He wants to call for the hit of a leader of another country. I never heard, and he's with Kane right here in Ukraine in 2014. I never heard of a senator calling out for an assassination of a president. I mean, that is totally insane. He should have. And any other time, that man should be just dragged out of office. He should have got impeached as a senator right after that conversation. But, and this is the thing I've been showing people all the time. We'll call them BLs. What about these BLs? Because we call them anything else. They start bugging out, YouTube's got their algorithm for bio, laboratories. They're claiming they're not there. The lady saying it's just for research. One of these ladies in a hearing, Rubio asked her, the congressman or senator, I think he is. He asked her about them, and she basically said, "Oh, they're just for research." Then, after that all came out, and the lady admitted them that they were there. When Rubio was like a hearing, then they started to deny it again. Biden's press secretary. So these are the things that we're going through. Where are those? Why do we have them there? This is what I want to know. And why are they covering up? And then why are they saying it's just for they're worried about Russia getting a hold of the stuff in there. So obviously it's dangerous, but yet they're telling you it's just for research. And this is the lady that testified in front of Rubio. Senator, I think he's a senator anyway, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, he's Senator Rubio. And this lady's telling them it's just research labs. Okay, so if they're research labs, why are you so worried about them? Right? So these are the things they're covering up. And you will not see, the BLs, you won't hear about them that much. So here we go. China wants answers. I mean, these other countries didn't know about this stuff. So these, officials, UN, meaning due to military activities in the U.S. territory, here we go. I mean, you just look at all these tweets and things people are saying. The White House has been bought a long time ago. That's why they wanted to get Donald out of there. Everything is okay, and here they are. They're all sitting down. It's probably how it rolls. They got a monopoly board, and they divide property. They're showing you different pictures here of scenes, how to just face, they're basically photoshopping stuff. This is what we got to do. We got to decipher everything. Now, there was a lady from Ukraine, and they're interviewing her, and she looks like a regular citizen. I mean, I don't know, is she an actor too? But she's basically claiming that Ukraine's blowing up some of the homes in the villages. They're shooting them. And her husband's a tank commander or something in the Ukraine army, and she knows a lot, like the way she's speaking. And she even tells you, my husband's a tank commander. And she's telling you what these tanks are doing. I mean, here's just one clip. There's 5 minutes of her talking, but I'm only going to show you like a minute of just, you're just going to read it and you'll see what I'm talking about. So this lady's talking about, why are these Ukrainian tanks destroying the houses in the village? And if you watch the whole thing, it's on banned video. You're going to have to go to like banned video to get a lot of real information. And some of that could be fake too. I mean, you don't know what to believe anymore. But I'll believe her before I believe like one of the news media outlets. This lady, you'll listen to her speak. She sounds like a typical Ukrainian mom screaming and yelling, pissed off for what's going on. So these are the things that we're going through. And we have to put into perspective that they want to destroy our country. I mean, these are evil people right now in power. I'm telling people they're demonic worshiping politicians. Not all of them, but a lot of them, I think. I mean, there's too many lies. People get killed constantly. Hear all these different accidents of people dying for no reason. All of a sudden they die. Our free speech, our First Amendment. Look, our forefathers knew the most important thing was free speech. And that's why it was the First Amendment. And as you can see in America, little by little, you're losing that. Pretty soon, I won't be able to be on YouTube talking about anything because they're trying to pass laws to stop people like me. So you have to figure out, what are we going to do next? How are we going to talk? How are we going to get the news out? They're starting to ease up on the mandates a little bit. I think they had a plan. I think they were going to come out with another type of thing. And I think maybe it was going to come out of Ukraine, maybe, or somewhere. But I think they held back because I think everybody's starting to catch on to that shit now. So that fear factor, I ain't no more going to work for them. I think they wanted to bring out another one and put the diapers back on us, on our faces, and things like that. But I think that card they ran out. People are starting to catch on, and I mean, this thing went on for 3 years already. I was talking to a nurse. Okay, one of my neighbors. So I asked her, I asked her about it, and she's, and she got it, the whatever you want to call it. And she said to me, I says, well, I don't understand. Why would somebody need to get it? I mean, if somebody has it already, why are they scared of catching it again from somebody that didn't get that thing? So she says, well, it's about herd immunity. Herd immunity. So now they're trying to say people that get that, they're building herd immunity through the country. And, you're putting other people. I mean, the medical association is probably lying so bad to these doctors, and they're like buying into this shit. Like herd immunity, we're at 80, like, I don't know what the percentage of the country is, but we're high, 70, 80%. That is herd immunity. Plus, if you never got this and you caught the bug, you have natural immunity that Israel even had a study and said it's 3 times stronger. So I don't know what they're telling these nurses, what they're telling these doctors, but they're all convinced. I guess they only believe what they're told. They only believe what's written down on a piece of paper. You could tell them the sky is green on a piece of paper and they'll believe it. Another way they're destroying us, trillions of dollars pumped into the economy, but who's got to pay that back? It's us, right? Dollars falling. I think their major plan is Biden's trying to push something through right now with digital currency. People, they want the mark of the beast, okay? Well, let's be real. Bible, no Bible. They want it where you can only buy and sell through them. They want to know every dollar you make and where it goes. And they're even going to be able to program the money that you work for. They're going to be able to program and tell you what you can buy. Like they may say, you're not allowed to buy soda. You drink too much soda. We've been monitoring it, and your family drinks too much soda. So you have to cut down. You're only allowed a 12-pack a week. I mean, believe me, they're going to be able to do shit like that. So this is what they want to do. They want total control. Okay? They're putting all Americans in major debt. I don't know where to go, what to do. You can't leave the country, right? Because the rest of the other countries are worse. So what do we do at this point? For 50 years, they've been trying to do this. I think the good news is a lot of people are starting to wake up. And all the odds are stacked up against us. I mean, the odds are stacked, right? I mean, but we're fighting back as best we can. And, as long as there's people like me and we're able to get out here and talk and do things, I think there's still some hope to take our country back. But it's a big mountain we're going to have to climb. But I do believe we will take our country back. We will. We have to definitely start. Everybody should get like a little book, a little notepad, and start taking notes of all kinds of stuff. Like, we got to start, us regular people, we got to start at school board levels. I'll go there, see who these people are in the school boards and where they come from, make notes of them. Go to your other meetings, your local, like, town meetings and stuff, your legislature and things like that, and find out who these guys are, and when the vote comes, find out where they're getting their funding from. That's the big trigger. I mean, follow the money. It'll always tell you who they are. If they're getting money from big corporations and stuff, and then there's another guy just getting like small donations from a lot of different people, I think that guy's the legit one, right? So follow the money. The money always talks, but we have to take back. We got to start at school boards. I mean, the schools are very important. We have to realize that if we take back our school boards, they can't brainwash our children anymore. Okay, and that's the big key, because when the children grow up, like the generation now, and maybe the generation before them, they're kind of brainwashed. They went to school, they were taught certain things. Uh, they're brainwashed kind of up to a point. They're brainwashed, and only some of them wake up out of the coma. But most of them are on board. Most of them think there's nothing going on really. Like, country's running good. Until there's going to be no, very shortage of food and things like that. We have to understand, like, people in Russia, they got a few potatoes and some milk or cheese and a piece of bread and definitely a bottle of vodka, right? They need their vodka. Hey, I don't blame them. They're good. Like, they can get by. Those people know how to survive on little. You tell Americans you're going to have to get just bread, some cheese, maybe a couple of eggs or whatever, and that's going to be your dinner and lunch, and you're going to have to deal with it. Be chaos here. What do you mean I got to eat it? You got to go wait on the line for bread and flour and rice? Yeah, right. You're going to tell Americans that'll be chaos. But that's why the Russians, these other countries, besides Russia, other countries, these people are hardened already. This ain't not a bigger deal to them as it is to us. So once America starts to have problems with supplies and food, like cars right now, you go try to buy a car right now, you want a special, things in it, you got to buy whatever they got, and they don't even got stuff coming in. Tires? I know my friend, he's got a BMW. He went to go get tires for his BMW. They told him 6 months he has to wait to get those tires because of the supply chain problems. These things are starting to roll in. It's just a little at a time. I keep telling everybody, go start buying food because it's going to go up through the roof and we're going to have shortages. Are we going to starve to death? I don't think so. If they get to that point, then it's real chaos. But it will be very expensive and you will have to change your eating habits. It may be good for Americans. I think we're going to lose a lot of weight. I think, even me, I mean, I'm not a rich guy. I probably, but it depends, because if you're eating rice and pasta every day, you're not going to lose weight, right? Because that's the cheapest type of food. They have a chart, and they showed what is increased in sales. And like the number 5 things were like beans, because everybody's starting to buy dry beans, rice. People are buying bags of rice. They're stocking up. Pasta, some canned meat. So people are starting to get ready because they're nervous. And this is what they want. They want us in fear always. They're hitting us with like 6, 7 things. We're not getting hit with one thing. We're getting hit with food, fuel, economy, World War III possibilities, nukes, all kinds of craziness. Supply chain issues, constitutional issues. You're losing your rights, freedom of speech. They're turning this country upside down. And it's going to get to the point where if it gets really close to World War III, a lot of sheeple will surrender their freedoms for safety. They will. People roll over, especially here. The people are rolling over, left and right, rolling over. There's no even mandates. They're still rolled. They're just brainwashed to begin with. They think something's out there. It's going to kill them. They're so scared. They're petrified. When you see people wearing it still, they're petrified. That's why they're wearing it. They're scared. Okay? And there's a lot of people wearing it still, even with no mandate, because they're scared. See? This is what they love. There's going to maybe be a round 2. I don't know, though. That card may not work for them anymore. This is why the war thing, I think they kicked in the war thing now. But they really want the digital currency. Believe me when I tell you, they want one currency. They want to control it. It won't be a one world currency in the beginning. It's going to be like the United States dollar digitally. And they're going to basically put it in. You're still going to have cash out there. And little by little, they'll weed out cash. And then one day they're going to say cash is outlawed. You have to go surrender it to a bank. They will credit you the money in digital currency, and that's it. And they're actually going to save a ton of money. The Fed, which, isn't owned by the government, by the way. I'm sure we all know that. We all know who owns the Fed, right? The Rothschilds. So How easy is it to print money now if it's digital? You can get rid of all those machines, all the people that work there. You don't got to even print money. Just go in the computer, boom, and the money's there already. I mean, it's basically, it's air. They don't want people making transactions without them knowing who's who, you know? So this is what they're doing to us. And we have to realize this, and we have to really decipher the news. I'm telling you, Ukraine is a giant mess. And they're making Putin to be out the boogeyman. And this guy, you got to understand, his people love him. The people that grew up in the 90s love him. The new Russian people, they don't know what it is to go through hard times. But the people that grew up in the 90s, when the Russia, basically the wall fell, and in the late 90s and mid 90s, Russia was in chaos. It was like gangsters were running the whole entire country. It was like almost Mad Max. Food, everything. It was so hard to live in that country at that time. And Putin got in. And they want to say he's a dictator, whatever they want to say about him, but he straightened out the mess. He stopped all that shit, okay? He stopped the crime. He stopped a lot of things. And their economy got a lot better with Putin. Not saying he's not stealing money or whatever he's doing. He's still probably super rich. But he did care about the people, see? And the people didn't forget. Now, the young generation, they don't know. They don't know what it is to suffer like the people in the 90s. So they're grown up spoiled like Americans are. We are very spoiled. I want to see how many people could go to work without their phone. If you're watching this right now, I want you to think about this. You go to work, right? Leave your phone home for one day. Can you do it? Because I've been at work with other employees, and they've left their phone home. Like, I've left my phone home a few times, and when I got home, it was there, but I didn't go home and get it. I've actually had colleagues that had to leave work. They had to leave. They couldn't function without their phone. They couldn't function. It was like they were an addict, addicted to a phone. Like they couldn't even function. They had to leave. It happened like 5 times at least when I was working. Different people, okay? And they all left and went and got their phone. Every one of them made an excuse. Oh, I got to go home. I got an emergency. One guy went on his lunch hour. He took it early. I mean, like addicted, okay? So here, a challenge. Leave your phone home. See if you can do it for one day. I bet at least half the people watching my show, they can't do it. I went to the Chinese buffet the other night with my sister and my nephew, and we get in the car. And as soon as I get in the car, I'm getting in the car, and I look, and they're both on their phone, watching. This is what we're dealing with. These are why I think we're brain dead. A lot of people. I don't live on my phone, okay. And even the computer, I go on the computer a lot, but I watch movies. I break it up, I go on YouTube a lot. You're talking to people, you're interacting, you're getting different ideas. When you're on your phone, you're just getting what they want to give you. They're pumping stuff right into your brain. So, people, I made this video to just kind of let you know, start doing some of your homework. There is a video out there. It's on banned video. Oliver Stone made it. Okay. I watched the whole thing. It will break down what's really going on in Ukraine and why we're at where we at right now. You will understand why we're really there, what's at stake. They want Ukraine. They want the resources. Ukraine's like the breadbasket of the world, supposedly. They got the most wheat. But it's way beyond that. Ukraine has been being used to launder a lot of money for these rich oligarchs. This is their kind of playground. You seen the president of that country. I showed you earlier in the tape. The guy's doing a dance in like drag. I mean, this is the guy. How did they get this guy? From what I understand, there wasn't even a vote. They just installed him. I don't know. I don't know what to believe, what not to, but it seems like they're basically hiring actors now to be presidents. They need the best actors they could grab. But, Pretty soon, maybe they're going to grab a couple of our actors. I mean, they already got Trump in there, right? The guy, he was on TV all the time. I mean, I like Trump, but you never know, you know? Maybe the next president's going to be, I don't know. Arnold Schwarzenegger said he wants to be the president. You ever see that guy? He said, basically, if you don't go get this, you should leave. I mean, this is this psychos that we got running this country. So a lot of stuff is being exposed right now, but doesn't matter right now. Can we do anything about it? Do they want us to, I mean, you know, we've even a lot of peaceful protests, what they'll do, and this is done all over the world. They send in, 20, 30, 40 guys, they hire professionals, real professionals at what they do, and they'll cause chaos. They'll shoot, they'll shoot cops. I mean, this has happened in other countries. They send in these people to make the peaceful protests become violent. You've seen in America, we had a couple of them and they didn't go too well, right? And there's a lot of people now they're investigating, if they were FBI connected, things like that. So protesting is not easy. And even if you do protest, does anything get done for it? It seems that the only way things got done, and I've watched a lot of different countries with these color revolutions, I think kind of America, we're going to be in that sooner or later, is when they get really violent. That's when things start to get done. But do we need that type of violence in this country? How many Americans are willing to die, get shot, fight police? How many Americans are willing to do that? Not too many. You see these people in Ukraine, they'll show you videos from 2004, 2014. The people in Ukraine are used to fight authority. All right? These people are out there. They're ready to go. We're not ready for it. We've been spoiled. We've been protected. We've basically let all this happen to us by just sitting back and just saying, who cares? It'll never happen in America. Who do you think was protecting us all these years? Politicians that were legit, but they've dug their nails and gotten like maybe 90% of the politicians now in their, in their club. It was never like that. It was hard for them to infiltrate all these politicians back in the 50s, 60s, 70s, I guess. Now it's not, because maybe the CIA was kind of like legit in the early years for the people. Maybe they actually cared about us, in the 50s, 60s, maybe, until Bush got in there. So when he was head of CIA, I think everything changed with him and Nixon. Even this guy, George Soros, who is this guy really? He's a billionaire that starts all these color revolutions throughout the world, admits he's got 50% of the politicians bought here. Is he actually like shadow government, CIA or something? I mean, because how could this guy be getting away with all this shit? He's got to be really he's got to be involved. I think nobody really knows what he does. Like who he really works for. Because who does he work for? That's what I like to know. So, let me see. I'll check it out, see some comments. So Frenchmen saying that, yeah, they've been trying to. They're going to do something again, maybe. I think it's getting a little played out, though. But they're going to maybe try it again and tell you to put your mask back on and things like that. They want to be able to just push the button and control, like on and off. And they want to just see if we're going to constantly keep obeying. And they're just going to keep pushing it until we say no. And then they know how far they can go. See, they'll just keep pushing and pushing until there's resistance. And a little bit of resistance, they're going to crush it anyway. They don't care. They'll make laws to crush it, too. It's really got to be out of control resistance where a big majority of the people say no. That's it. Lots of people lost money with the Bitcoin. Yeah, lots of people lost their businesses, too, when they closed everybody down. If you owned a little hardware store, you had to close down, but Home Depot was open. So they said, their excuse was, well, it's a big store, it's open area. Yeah, but there's 15 times more people in those stores, too. So let's go down per square foot. You got a little hardware store. There's 2 customers inside. You got Home Depot. There's hundreds of customers inside. They put 50%, if not more, of the little businesses out of business. And who owns 50% of little businesses? I mean, who owns almost all the little businesses in America? Middle class. It's an attack on the middle class. They're not worried about the poor because the poor is going to do what they say because the poor sucking them dry, getting, all kinds of public assistance. They want to wipe out the middle class to where it's a small percentage. And the percentage in the middle class that's going to be left is going to be the people that work for the government and that work for like the city municipalities. So you got your middle class is going to be just people like police officers, firemen, bus drivers, maybe, people that work for the city and governments because they're going to obey whatever they tell them in general because they're going to pay them good enough so they listen. And, whatever they tell them, I mean, like NYPD, their union rolled over. From what I understand, not too many of the officers didn't get this. They all said, yes, we'll get it. We don't want to lose our job. I only think like there was a resistance of like 1,500 out of like 30-something thousand police officers. And then half of those guys went and got it, or almost 90% of them went and got it right before the deadline because they don't want to lose their job. They're almost willing to take a chance of death than rather lose their job because they figure if they lose their job, their life is over anyway. They can't pay their bills. They can't eat. So they're willing to roll the dice. If this thing is bad for me, I'm going to find out. I don't know if anybody wants to come on the panel. I will put a link and see if we want to talk about anything else. If somebody has a subject or something they want to talk about. But understand, we're being lied to. We're being cheated like crazy. They're stealing. They're deceiving us. People are getting murdered for no reason. And, I think the Bible, or there's somewhere in a book I read, it tells you that you will know them, not by their words, but by their deeds. I'm pretty sure that's in the Bible somewhere, but I'm not positive. Don't quote me on it. And let me just put a link in the chat if anybody wants to jump on. If you got any questions, feel free to ask. I'm going to pin it to the top. All right. So let's see what we got. Any more questions? Let me go into the chat. So partly cloudy, 420s here. Cheers, Chatland. Anybody have any questions at all? Oh, look at that. Put my cigarette in backwards. But I have to show you one more time for some of the people that tuned in. This is the Ukrainian president. How is it possible this guy could be the president? I just would love to know this. Look at this guy. So this guy Zelensky is a comedian, actor. I mean, I could show you other videos, but do you see him dancing there? Could you imagine they had a video of Donald Trump doing something like that when he was a young man? They would never let that go, would they? But you don't see the media showing you that, do they? That's the president of Ukraine. And we're supposed to believe that guy? Really? Come on now. Come on, guy. I want to tell him, ridiculous. So, let's see. Did you cover Iran hit USA targets over the weekend? Biden said it was a mistake. No, I didn't get into that one yet because I'm still on, I know there's stuff going on in Iran. There's videos out now. They're showing you that Iran has all these tunnels underground with tons of weapons. I mean, tons of missiles and weapons. Okay? They're getting ready. Iran has been, they've been hiding it all. and they got these giant underground tunnel networks. But I will start getting into the Iran thing soon. But that's another story. I'm sure they're going to create more stuff. Look, they want us to believe, they're going to do it. I mean, they're going to have the whole world going nuts. I mean, with wars. I mean, this is what they want. Food, wars, money, people are going to lose their houses. They just want you to own nothing and be happy. Basically eat roaches. If they could give you insects and you'll eat them, they'll give you that instead of food. I don't think Americans are going to go through it as hard as other countries, but it will get to us. The difference is when it does hit us, we're spoiled. So when Americans got to start waiting on the bread lines for baskets of food, I think they'll wake up. Maybe they'll just obey. Absolutely issuous. Not only Biden, let's face it, there's a ton of those politicians. If you look at them, you got to look at these politicians. Watch videos of them like, I don't know, 20 years ago, even 10 years ago. Like Biden, you'll see his eyes, they're blue. And now, every time you look at his eyes, they're dark, black almost. I mean, there is no blue. Or what happened? Your eyes change color when you get older? I personally think, and I've said this all along, a lot of these people are possessed by demons. And when you're possessed by a demon, sometimes you won't even know it. He'll be in the background making you do things, And not like the movie The Exorcist, you're possessed by a demon, your head's spinning around. I mean, just what Pelosi did the other day on TV makes me believe the demon was acting up a little bit inside of her, making her do some stupid shit. I know demons once in a while like to do stupid shit, it seems like. Some of these guys, they just do stupid shit. And even Biden, if you watch him, sometimes he talks like he can't even put two words together. And then there's times he talks pretty decent. I think the demon takes over for him sometimes and talks for him. Well, they're going to blame Russia for a lot of things now. I mean, Biden said, don't blame me with the gas prices. It's Russia's fault. It's a lack of soul, black eyes, darkened spirit. Yeah, they got no souls. They lost their souls. I like JB, man. You're thinking way ahead of everybody. Definitely, man. They don't want. I forgot what year it is. 86 or something like before that. Yeah, they're gonna hit us with an EMP and nothing's gonna work. So if you got like an old car, like an old Mustang or something. I mean, if you ever seen War of the Worlds with Tom Cruise, so they're getting invaded and everybody's trying to start their car to run away and get away, and nobody can because their cars don't work. But Tom Cruise's friend has like this. Like 64 Mustang or something, like an old car, just with a regular carburetor. And he gets in that thing, boom, takes off, out of the picture. Seems like to play jokes against humans. That's why their way of trying to discredit God. Absolutely. Look, they're doing a lot of shit just to show how dumb most people are. I mean, this is why a lot of the shit is going on. This is like showing the Almighty God, like, look how dumb these people are. No matter what we do to them, they just keep obeying. It don't matter. I'm telling you, when the Mark of the Beast comes out, 95% of the people are probably going to take it. They're either going to take it because they don't care. They don't care about their soul, or they're going to take it because they think they don't know any better, and they're going to think that they could play stupid to the Almighty. I said, well, we didn't know. We got tricked. The Almighty God has no patience for ignorance. People think that he is a forgiving God, and he is. But if you read the Bible, he doesn't have patience for ignorance, okay? Just like most people. We don't have. Who has patience for ignorance? The Almighty God does have emotions. That's how come we have emotions. If he didn't have emotions, how would he know how to give us emotions? You understand? He does get mad. He does get happy. This is why we have emotions. He couldn't have invented these things. without him going through it. So he must have emotions for him to make emotions. Okay? And, oh, we already said that one. Anybody got any questions? Something they like to talk about? Has anyone ever saw the breakdown 19 Illuminati card game? Yes. They have the trucker strike on there. They got a lot of different stuff on it. It's not coincidences. They have a playbook. They're playing it out. Some people think that they're playing it out so good. They're playing the Bible out almost. But the Bible warned us about all this stuff. So I think they're trying every card they can to destroy America, because they need to destroy America to get a one world order. You ain't getting a one world order when America's still, basically in power. If the people are still running the country, which we're not anyway, but like kind of, we have a little say still left because there's a lot of different states, different governors. I don't think they got to every single governor. The guy DeSantis in Florida seems like a good man. He seems like he's against them. We don't know if he's acting also, but I don't think so. Just like Trump, I don't think Trump was acting, but Trump spooks me because he did a lot of things in the past that kind of freaked me out. He was doing that sign on TV all the time. That's the 3-6 sign. I don't know if Trump kind of played the game with these people to get in power and then turn on them, or is he really with them? I don't know. I know the country was a lot better shape than it is now. I really believe he's coming back, and he's coming back to save the day. And, I don't want to say he's the Antichrist, but they always say the Antichrist will be loved by many. So could you imagine a leader coming into power and flipping this upside down world back into normal? We would think that was the greatest person ever to come, right? It would almost be like the Messiah came. I don't know who to trust anymore. I almost don't trust anybody anymore, like as far as politicians. But there is a little hope still. Like I said before, I think we're winning some small battles because of people. We're still here. Like I'm still here on YouTube talking about this stuff. So when you start seeing a lot of us disappearing, these little guys like me, telling you stuff that's going on. I don't have a big audience, I just started. Hopefully it'll get bigger, but I don't know if anybody's telling people about me. So if you are, thank you. Because the bigger the audience, the better. Peace Pops listening from the porch. How's your spirit? My spirit, no matter what, is good because I know I'm good with the creator of the Most High. I'm pretty good with him. I mean, I've sinned in my life. I'm not a perfect man, but I do my best to follow his rules, and and I have a good heart inside. So I don't have that black heart. I care about people. That's kind of the only reason why I'm even doing these talk shows, trying to get to a few people that I can wake up. And let's see, Richie from Boston covered this on BitChute. I can't re-upload to his stuff without getting banned from YouTube. I've tried before. Yeah, the YouTube is like, they're getting worse and worse. I don't know. They stopped my stream the other day midstream, and then they let it back on. Copyright bullshit. It's like they're worried about every little thing we do. It's crazy. Richie from Boston is the man. Hey, I'm going to watch that guy. Check him out. So is that the name of his show, Richie from Boston? Yeah, the Illuminati card game. I've seen it, man. It's a playbook. Oh, I agree. But you did hear him on TV one day, right? I mean, he said, I'm the chosen one. But the second coming ain't Trump. I mean, like as far as religiously, is that what you're talking about? He's going to but to people, they'll think he's the second coming. Then I'm not going to believe he's the Messiah, of course. But could you imagine somebody coming back like Trump in power and flipping America back to normal and then starting to flip the rest of the world back to normal by getting involved with a lot of the leaders? Because you've seen how they respect him. He will become like the new, wow. He'd be like the greatest leader of ever. So I could see that happening with Trump. And I don't think he's the second coming. If anything, he'd be the Antichrist. Because the Antichrist will be loved by many. Okay, he's a deceiver. We have to understand that Lucifer, the light bringer, Satan, or whatever you want to call him, is one of the greatest deceivers there are. I mean, this guy, that's a specialty. I agree. Now, who are the Churin? Who are the Churin? That's let me see, Churin. Is that like an alien race? Who are the Churin? You got me on that one. I don't really pay attention to everything. So I don't know what it means. Does it mean like children or something? Type in that name. Okay, I will. Agenda 2030, this world won't even be recognizable. Yep. You could see how far we've come. And like I told people this, like when I first started, I said, do you see how fast things changed? And I started a couple of months ago before this Ukraine. I said, do you see how fast things change day to day? Like these guys ain't holding back. I mean, like your world's upside down every couple of days. There's more shit they're throwing on your plate. I mean, it doesn't end. They're not letting down. They got their foot on your throat and they're just pushing harder. They basically just want to break everybody. And, you know, I told people this like 2 months ago. Watch how the world's going to be from now and a month later. And then in a month later. And day to day, it changes like crazy. I mean, the stuff that goes day to day used to take a year. Now it's a day. In a month, it's like 10 years of stuff happens in 1 month now. It's out of control. And Trump is loved by many sheeple. Yes. They basically want somebody to come save them and help them. And, you know, they got nothing else. But he gives them hope. And the country was running well when he was president. So we can't say that to want to have Trump in there would be a bad thing right now, the way these things are going. I mean, I'd take him over this administration we got now, but something's weird about what happened with Trump. Something happened. I don't know what it is, but he walked away quietly, too quietly. He even had an executive order printed out. If there was any kind of domestic or foreign people that tried to interfere with our election, he could basically lock it down, and he didn't pull the string on that. So I don't know. Something happened with Trump. I don't know what it is, but he kind of walked away quietly. Yeah, I don't blame you. I don't even want. That's why a lot of people didn't even go back to work. You know, a lot of people were out of work, collect unemployment. You know how many people didn't go back? They were like, I almost would rather live in the street than work for these people. It's very hard to go work for anyone anymore. Employers treat their workers so terrible. And even if you get a decent employee, they work you to death. They're multitasking you. They're making you do like 2-3 jobs. I mean, I see people like cashiers in little stores. Basically, they were the cashiers. And at night, the store would get stocked by the night crew or whatever. Now they got the cashiers like basically doing everything, like in between customers. Like, oh, there's no customer in the store and you got 30 seconds. You better go like stack a shelf. I mean, this is the shit they're doing in the low-level jobs. Forget about the high-level jobs. I worked in car dealerships and I was selling cars for a while just recently. I mean, I've done a lot of different jobs, but I'm just using this as an example. So over the years, like within 2 years, you know, I seen the whole industry change because you used to sell the car and that was your job, to sell the car, basically get their information, you know, and you would give it to the one of the managers and they would do a lot of the other stuff like the paperwork that was going to motor vehicle and all the paperwork, you know, and it's a lot of paperwork, you know, registration stuff, all kinds of different things. And that would take a good at least hour. So what they started doing, they're making the car salesman do that too now. The finance managers basically don't do anything anymore in these car dealerships. They're making the salesman do it all. So they're trying to get, rid of, make people work harder for the same amount of money. Yeah, I think the convoy is, in my opinion, I think it's a waste too. The reason why is I think it hurts the people more than it, it is good to show hope to the people. But I mean, if we got to rely on truckers as our leaders, like, because we don't got nobody stepping up to the plate, we're in sad shape. I mean, I'm not to take anything away from the truckers because they're the heart and soul of the country. These guys are delivering food, they're doing everything. But where is there a big time leader coming up, stepping to the forefront? Where's there one big religious leader stepping up to the forefront? Nobody. There either is none or they're scared shit, all of them. Maybe if one steps up, he'll disappear. That's what happens now. It's like the movies, man. Don't believe this shit doesn't happen. People get assassinated now. It's not a big deal for them to kill people. Not a big deal. Yep. Yeah. Well, the metaverse, people are going to go to work in the metaverse, make believe. They'll have make believe metaverse money. I don't know. They're going to live in pods or something like that movie. I forgot what it's called. Movie, something one or something. I forgot what name of it. People were like living online. Like that was basically their life. They were living like in these shithole trailers and everything. That's right. I believe all these protests don't do shit, to be honest. I was going to go to that protest in January, and I really thought about it. I said, am I going to drive all the way there? I can't even park my car probably somewhere. And then, there's going to be a lot of chaos over there. And I probably would have been one of the people in that building that day because I would have pushed my way to the front of the line. And I would have walked in there. I probably would have sat on the desk next to the guy that was sitting on the desk of Pelosi. Good thing I didn't go. I probably would have been in jail right now. I mean, this is the thing. They make examples out of the bullshit. And then, hey, I'll give you an example. I have a dog. My sister has a dog, right? This is how bad America is. It's crazy. My sister has a dog. The dog went in the backyard, and the gate was open. Somebody left the gate open. I don't know how it opened. And this dog is not a violent dog. It's a boxer. It's a puppy. It's 10 months old. It's super friendly, man. Its tail is waggling nonstop. So some lady's walking by with a dog. This dog jumps out, my sister's dog, and goes to play with the dog, like just trying to sniff him and play with him. And the lady starts screaming, hollering, yelling bloody murder. And this was like a 10-second thing. My nephew grabbed the dog and brought him in the yard. It was 10 seconds. So this lady goes to the police, says my sister's dog scratched her dog. So the police come to the house, and I tell the cop, look, I'm not answering questions. What are you, the dog police? And he's asking questions, and he's really being really nice and everything. So I ask him a question. I says, well, what did I say my sister's dog did? He says, oh, well, I don't know, it has bite marks. I says, are you sure that it has bite? He goes, no, it has a scratch. Oh, he changed his story already, the cop. So I go, look, I don't answer questions. This is bullshit. I says, what do we got, dog police here? He goes, well, I'm going to just take the report. Then it's going to go to the detectives. They're going to come. So I go, what? You're telling me detectives are going to come here to investigate 2 dogs? There is no human involved. 2 dogs they're going to fucking investigate. This is what America has become, okay? Now you got a dog playing with another dog. So, and then the lady takes my sister to court. She's got to go to court. I think it was today. She's got to go to court for this shit. They put a summons on her door. She has to show up because the lady, whatever, want. So now we got crime committing by, look, if 2 dogs were fighting in the street, that's an investigation. These are fucking animals. Like, Are we now having dog police? Like police? I told the cop, I says, not for anything. I says, I can understand the ASPCA coming here, doing what you're doing, but a cop, they actually got nothing. They actually got nothing better to make cops do than go investigate dog crimes. And that is dog crimes in America. This is where we're at. It's crazy. You go to other countries, dog. Look, I have a dog. I love my dog, but it's a fucking dog. I don't care what. That's part of my family and all this shit. Yes, I love my dog. It's like my kid almost, but he's not my dog. When my dog dies, I will be very upset, but wouldn't be even near the equivalent of like one of my kids or grandkids or something happening to them. Wouldn't even be even close. My dog's gonna die. I'll feel upset for a while. Maybe shed a tear or two, miss him, love him, and that'll be it. And I'll forget about him in a couple of months or whatever. I'll always remember like him in a way, but like it's not like a human. But like now we have fucking like police investigating like 2 dogs playing for 10 seconds and the dog got scratched supposedly. And that's like a big fucking deal. Like, really? I mean, shouldn't that be like you refer that person, like you got to go to the dog pound, the ASPCA or some shit like that? Now police, and then they said they're sending detectives to the house. It's like, detectives. I says, are you serious? He goes, yeah. I go, this is fucking crazy. I said, this is out of control. And then he keeps trying to ask questions because they just want to get fucking information. Look, I know. I did it. But I never did what these guys do. And I'm like, I'm not answering your questions. I'm not giving you information because all you want to do is you want to take my name or whatever and you want to write me a summons for some bullshit. And I'm not giving it to you. Go get a warrant. Do whatever you want. I walked back in the house and my sister stood out there and talked to him. Must have gave her her information. I wanted to tell her to come inside, but you know what? She wasn't going to listen to me anyway. So she ended up getting a ticket. She gave him his name and everything. I ain't giving no cop my name. Get a fucking warrant and come to my house with a warrant. Okay? My dog didn't attack a human, didn't do any damage to anybody. You want to investigate dog crimes now. This is what we're dealing with. Now, it wasn't even a fight. That's the problem. Ready Player One. That was the movie I was thinking of. Yep. There's so many movies on the metaverse. Of course. They're actually selling shit. And you're like, Gucci selling virtual pocketbooks for like $500 in the metaverse. Like, and people are buying this shit. Like, this is how twisted we are as people. We've gotten to that point where it's just totally twisted people. Pardon dog play. They were playing. Yeah. They used to show animal cops. Listen, the ASPCA is supposed to be like animal cops. Like if there's a loose dog, they come take him in. And in this town, forget it. You got to have a license to have a dog. Imagine this shit. You go to, they got dogs in shelters. They want to get a home, and then you got to take them home. You got to have the shots, It's all fucking money. It's all about sucking your money up. You got to have a license to have a dog? Really? Like, so you what? Another $20, $30 I got to give you? They make it cheap, like $20. You got to do it every couple of years or whatever, or once, every 5. But it's bullshit. It's just more ways to take money out of our pockets. If you told people in some of these countries about the shit how they treat dogs in this country, people, they lose their fucking minds. Like, lose their minds. They're like, really? I said, yeah, really. People have birthday parties for their dogs in this country. They do all this crazy shit. They dress them up. They get strollers for them. I said, these people are sick. Look, I have a dog. He's a dog. Okay? He has his little dog bed. There's people, their fucking dog is sleeping right next to them in the bed, like with their head on the pillow next to them. Listen, my dog has jumped on my bed, but he knows, like, he'll be near my feet if I don't kick him off. But there are people, they wake up and their dog's like right next to them. Like, why don't you just marry? I was surprised that people don't marry their dogs soon. So this is how sick this world is getting when we start treating dogs like humans. Imagine what we're going to do when they have AI robots. And they're like real, like where they look just like humans. Forget it. They'll be citizens. Yeah. Oh, see this dog? My sister's dog ran out there, played with the dog for about 10 seconds, and my nephew was right there and just brought him back in the yard. There was no violence. The dog didn't get crazy. But the girl overreacted because her dog was little, his dog was big, and people are just scared of everything in this country. Okay? People are scared. That's what it all boils down to. Everybody is scared. Not everybody. A lot of people. Let me recorrect myself. People are scared. They're scared to fight. The only thing people aren't scared in this country is to open their big mouths. People aren't scared of doing that. People in this country have big, gigantic mouths, like to the point where they don't even have respect for other people. They just like to talk their bullshit, and then as soon as they're challenged, they're ready to call police. We live, come stop, buy on my page. We live, come stop. End time teacher. How you doing, End time? I watch some of your stuff. Yep. Official ASMR audits. We got him in the house. I don't know if you know about like guys like Official. They go and audit police, kind of fight for your rights live with cameras, but they're going to start putting laws where you're not allowed to film police officers without their consent. They're working on it. A couple of states, I think, have passed it already. And then they're going to claim, well, we have body cameras on our police officers, so there's no need for civilians to record them, which is bullshit. It goes against your constitutional rights, your Bill of Rights, goes against everything. But they just keep changing shit. They make new laws. They just, before you know it, you probably won't even recognize the Constitution or your Bill of Rights anymore. They'll just make so many laws to just basically negate everything. Freedom of speech. They'll say, well, if you're talking anti-government, you're designated as a terrorist, and we have the right to do that. So I guess it's getting to that point, they're going to keep twisting things. We have to try to take our country back, and we're climbing up a real steep mountain, and we're at the bottom, and the mud is sliding down, and we're trying to climb up, but we keep sliding on the mud, and we can't even get a grip yet. We're starting, though, at least to start to climb. We're starting to climb, we're hitting the mud and our legs ain't moving anywhere, but people are starting to at least try to climb up the mountain. There's a little hope starting to come, but I tell everyone, we need we need big shots. We need big guys, big guns. When I say big gun, I mean like a big leader. We need big guns to get involved. We don't have any yet. When are we going to have somebody that goes out there and really goes? Like, it seems like Trump's the only one that even talks about these people, what they're doing. I don't see nobody joining his side but a few politicians that are looking to get, Sexy Lopez. I enjoy the woman light-skinned Afro-Latinas with the big natural bubble. Come back to the Dominican Republic. Oh, yes. I would definitely be there as soon as I don't have to go on a plane and have them stick a swab up my nose. Because I'm not getting no swabs stick up my nose. They stick it all the way up, and who knows what's on that swab. I don't trust them. I'm not definitely getting that shot, that's for sure. So, do you, Sexy Lopez, do you live in the Dominican Republic? And Amanda Erickson. We have somebody new, Amanda Erickson. Welcome. I like the crown. And Sexy Lopez. So where are you from? Because I lived in the DR for 5 years. I lived in Puerto Plata and on Santiago. I've been to Santo Domingo. Oh, you're on 5 acres up in the Campo somewhere? Because you could buy land cheap up there. Up in the Campos is nice. You're up in the mountains. Nobody bothers you. If you've seen the way people live in the Dominican Republic, they don't have a lot of money, but they're happy in general. They're smiling. Sunday is like a block party every Sunday in the Dominican Republic. It's like everybody's at a bar, car washes. People are drinking outside. There's a bar outside of the car wash. I mean, like, it is a great place. The people, even though they don't have a lot of money, they're not at least enjoy life. They're not just sitting in their house every day sulking over things. And these people, they all, even poor people in the Dominican Republic own a house. How many Americans don't own houses? Even the poor people. I had a maid when I lived there. She made, like $100 a week, and she owned a nice house. She had everything, people. Oh, yeah, I'm in Villa Gonzales. Okay. I'm surprised you even got good internet. Close to Santiago. Yeah, I lived in La Susa near the Monumento in Santiago. I lived there for a while, and then I moved to Puerto Plata because it was better for me. The beaches and being that I'm a gringo. In Santiago it was a little difficult. Cops were pulling me over, trying to shake me down a little bit. I usually had no problems with it, but Puerto Plata is a lot more tourists. So if you're a gringo in Puerto Plata, not too bad. There's so many of them. And I wasn't a tourist, so it was even better. I knew the game. Yep. But people there, too. The kids in Dominican Republic, they're outside all playing in the street, playing in the parks like we used to do when I was a kid. It was almost like going into a time warp. The only difference between America, let's say, in the 70s and the DR is they're poorer, than we even were in the 70s. But other than that, I mean, I'd rather be a little poor and be happy. You see 16-year-old kids, they're riding their little moped, Jeepetta, whatever, and they got a nice girl in the back hugging them, and they're drinking beer, and they're happy. 16-year-olds here, they're in their house playing Xbox. The mother basically won't even let them outside still, and they're 16, Instead, they'll just, do drugs. They'll smoke weed in their room and shit. So, yeah, it is a good life there. And, people there, too. I was talking about the way they eat in the Dominican Republic. So I should do a show on the Dominican Republic because I lived there for 5 years. And I've been going back and forth there for like 15 years. So, people there, too, they eat simple. They eat a thing called yucca. It's like a tree bark, very good for you, an anti-inflammatory for your body. They eat jungle food. All that jungle food is what's healthy for you. Mangoes, coconuts, chinola. Now, if you don't know what a chinola is, it's passion fruit. I love it. That's my favorite fruit. It's like a kind of a bittery, orangey, mango tasting fruit. I can't explain it. It's just great. And, they'll eat a little plantanos, either fried or mango, a little piece of meat, whether it be a little chicken. Not like here in America. We'll eat enough chicken that could feed 4 people in another country, They eat a little piece of chicken or some fried salami. They love their fried salami. They love fried food, fried plantanos. But they eat simple and they're happy. The only thing I didn't like in the DR too much is because I'm spoiled, used to the meat. The beef in America is kind of always the same. It's smooth. But the beef there, sometimes it was gamey, sometimes it wasn't. The pork there is awesome. If you like pork, I stopped eating pork now, but over there, the pork is delicious. The chicken is delicious. Thank you for bringing your strong dollar here. Yeah. How many pesos now can you get with a dollar? I remember it was like, when I was there, it was like 32, 34. How high is it now? I mean, I was there at times, it was 48 when I was younger. How many pesos to the dollar now? You want to go to Turks and Caicos soon. What do you mean, Turkey? No, because Turkey's a beautiful country. So if you're a lot of Muslim people there, though. If you're Muslim, even better for you. Turkey is a very Muslim country. The 50s. Wow, I get a lot for $1 now. Woo. When I was there, it was, the dollar wasn't as strong, I guess, or the peso wasn't as weak. I remember. I know friends that years ago they used to get like 10% on their money in the banks there. I don't know if they're still doing it. Like, you got Bank of Leon there. You got a few banks. Um, and you got a few rich families there, right? The people that own Presidente. Um, the guys that own that hardware store. I forgot what the name of them guys are. They're rich. There's some real rich people there. Well, if you need anti-inflammatory food, yuca is one of the best foods you can eat. It's an anti-inflammatory. I don't know if people realize that you die because your organs, basically, they get inflamed. And when you keep your organs not inflamed, you live longer. That's why even you need good sleep. When you sleep, your body repairs. Your organs aren't working half as hard. When you're up, your heart has got to beat harder. Your heart is a machine. It's got so many pumps, and that's it. You put a certain amount of mileage on it, and it expires, just like anything else. All righty. Make sure you all subscribe. If you have any friends, please tell them. I need subscribers. I got to try to get my channel rolling. My goal is to get 1,000 subscribers. Then you can get monetized, even though YouTube probably will find a way not to pay me. It would be nice to make a few dollars. I wish I could just make a living. I would make even way better videos, spend more time if I had the time. Like if people, they make a living off of YouTube. And that would be a nice thing, even if you made a little bit of money. Don't have to be I'm not a greedy guy. If I made myself 500, 600, 700 a week, I'd be happy. I don't need a lot of money. Just enough to pay the bills, pay the rent and pay some things. Here we go. Remember this? How did people in Noah's day respond to the warning of God's coming judgment? The same way they are doing now, right? Nobody believes it's coming. It's like during Noah's days. They didn't believe it was coming. Yep. Oh, Google Turks and Caicos. Oh, okay. Oh, it's near the DR. I never heard of Turks. What do you mean? It's an island near the DR in the Caribbean. I got you. Okay. What kind of money did they use there? Of course, there are a few places. I was talking to a guy who lives in Aruba. He likes it there. Aruba's kind of a little more modernized. They use the dollar too in Aruba, so got big tourism. Actually, tourism is up right now. I thought it would be lower and down, but I guess people after being locked down for so long are all going away and doing stuff. I would suggest, beside that, start taking your kids out, go to the park with them, start to enjoy your children if you have kids. Don't take it for granted, because I have a funny feeling you're not going to be able to go to the park with your kids in a couple of years. Like, it's not going to be, the world's not going to be the same. This world is changing rapidly. It's under the control of demonic forces. I know people don't believe in it. Some people do. Some people see it. Some people don't. Some people believe there is an almighty God, and some people don't. If you don't believe in an almighty God, but you do see a lot of evil out there, then you should believe in an almighty God, because if there's evil, it has to be good, right? Now, if you don't believe in the almighty God and you don't see any evil, then I don't know what planet you're on. If you think this is just the way things are, and this is the way things, this is the norm of things, and how the world just goes in a circle and these things always happen, I don't believe so. I don't believe there could be evil people out there like Fauci that are willing to take down tons of people. I can't find that person being a human being. That guy has to be either demonically possessed or he's actually some alien or some shit. I don't know what he is, that man. That's another guy that can lie with a straight face, man. Some of these people, they're amazing. A lot of them were lawyers, by the way. A lot of politicians. I guess that's why they're so good at lying. They lie with straight faces, man. They'll look you dead in the eye and lie right to you. They've been doing it to us for many years now, right? Oh, I know, Amanda. I know you won't. YouTube gives you like, they don't really pay well. They give you like, for every 1,000 views, you get $2 or something like that. It's like crazy. Like you have to have like 500,000 views to make $100. But I said it would be nice anyway, because don't forget, you could still do other things too, like super chats and things like that. I know, guys, they just have people donate money on PayPal and stuff, and they don't even bother worrying about YouTube, and they do fine. I mean, there's some people that do great. I'm not even looking to really, I don't ask nobody for anything. I mean, eventually maybe I'll put something up there. I'm not at that point yet. But who knows? You know, like I said, I would like to spend more time and make real good quality videos where you wouldn't even see me. You would just see like pictures and movies and basically give you a lot of information and stuff, you know, more professionally. Eventually I will, I'm going to be moving, get my own apartment and everything. I'm with my sister now. So I'm going to set up a room, like a studio, like a little mini studio, like a little mini InfoWars or something like that. Have maybe a green screen in the back and everything. But that's in time, you know. Right now, it don't matter. People, sometimes they're like a regular person anyway. There's no bullshit in between my lips. Whatever I say, even if it's wrong, I don't intentionally say something. I don't lie, you know. If it's done unintentionally. Yep, you have to make sellable content. I agree. Yeah, definitely. I agree with that. Well, they were talking, you know, maybe Spotify will call me and they'll tell me, listen, we need like New York Joe Rogan, you know, like a Joey Diaz Joe Rogan, you know. So a lot of people tell me I'm like a cross of Alex Jones and Joey Diaz. Like if you put them both together, that makes me. Yeah, I know. I try to I put my link up a lot. A lot of times though, people don't join. I get sometimes I get a lot of people on a panel, but lately not as much. I almost say maybe it's a compliment, and maybe people just want to hear me talk. I don't know. That's what I start to think sometimes. I don't know. Is that the link? Let me see if that's the right link. Yeah, you know, sometimes I get a panel packed out, and then sometimes I don't have anybody on the panel. But lately, it's been a lot more people that don't come on the panel. And I think that's just because maybe people just want to hear me talk and they want to just chat in the chat, you know. Oh, let me see. Is this the one? I don't know if this is it. I don't know if that's it. Does that bring? Let me see. Hey, we got Tony Bruno in the house. Anybody that doesn't know who Tony Bruno is, he has a show. Been doing it a while, and he has more or less an alpha show. So, more or less made for alphas. You know. And let's see if that's it. Yeah. Yep, I think the right link is up there. So if anybody wants to join. And yeah, so Tony, you could drop your link in there if you want. I definitely, if you're a man, even some women go on, you know, they listen. It's good to get a man's, you know, side of view, right? If you're a woman, you want to try to understand men, maybe go on, listen to what Tony Bruno show. They talk about a lot of different subjects based on a lot of different things, how, you know, things should it be, or, you know, things that are just interesting conversations about a lot of stuff that pertains to men. So if you're interested, just definitely subscribe. And let's see what else we got going on. Let's look at some news while we're here. I'll look at some right side news first, and then we'll look at far left, which is like CNN lie after lie. And let's see what we got. So this is one of the news sources I use. It's definitely a far right news source. There's definitely these guys. They're definitely on the far right. Most people that probably watch my show are on the far right. It's called the Gateway Pundit, and let's see what they got going on. We'll share the screen, and here we go. So let's see what we got. So Tulsi Gabbard, she's one of them congresswomen, calls out Mitt Romney. India turns to Russia, considers buying discounted Russian oil at a heavy discount. Dumbest statement yet. Pelosi argues spending trillions helps lower national debt. Global inflation is Putin's fault. So Putin's the bad guy now. You know, they blame Trump. Now they're going to blame Putin, you know. Pelosi refused to hand over emails and videos from January 6th, claiming sovereignty immunity. They are. They do have sovereignty immunity, Congress people. So robots filmed below the Golden Gate. What they saw is brave eyes only. Don't understand that one. Let's see what that's about. Made an underwater discovery. I don't know. I'm going to waste my time with that. No integrity. 60 Minutes commits journalism fraud and shady expose on Wisconsin election. Well, listen, we've been complaining about that for how long now? Nothing ever gets done, so I don't even entertain it anymore. So they're talking about these labs in Ukraine. Russian Federation is making accusations. And CDC's mobility and mortality report 31%. And I don't know, Pfizer supposedly is coming out with a pill too or something soon. More tricks from the CDC, they're claiming. The truth is going to start to come out a lot more. We will see stuff coming out. Florida fires a warning shot at Democratic ballot traffickers. State will make possession of more than 2 voter ballots a felony. So you see what DeSantis is doing over there, right? We had a lot of governors like him. We'd be in good shape. All right. Laid off workers at a Keystone pipeline. So they're saying they're sick of hearing it's Putin's fault. We should start drilling for our own oil. Of course, we all know that. But that's not their plan. Their plan is to raise inflation through the roof in America. They want to crush our economy, and they're going to use Putin as the excuse now. Glad to hear it, Tony Bruno. So we got JP, the aspirin Madorik. There you go. What else we got? Russia to shut down Meta, Instagram, if the tech giant allows calls to kill Russians. So you see, they're not allowing that shit. Over here in America, they banned Donald, right? But they had the president of Iran or whatever, the Ayatollah there, whatever he is. I don't even know if they have a president, dictator. They had all his stuff, Death to America on Twitter, and that was okay. Because anything against America is not a problem. All right, they're saying a reporter got killed in Ukraine. Tom Brady announces he's coming back. He's one of my favorite quarterbacks of all time, but I have to say he definitely didn't play in the hard times where quarterbacks were getting hammered. I don't think he would have lasted this long if he played like in the 70s where the quarterbacks were getting just hammered, you know. But he's a great quarterback, no doubt. Roger Stone, exclusive. Liberal cities finally cleaning up homeless camps ahead of midterm elections. So you see what they're doing now. They're going to start to kiss butt to get votes. Even though, does it really matter? I don't know. They want us to believe our votes don't matter anymore, but I still say go out there and vote. We need to put pressure on them as much as we can. So he's lashing out Mitt Romney at Tulsi Gabbard for talking about the U.S.-funded biolabs in Ukraine. So this lady's pissed off that Trump responds to America's two-tier judicial system. Supposedly, as rapists are sentenced to probation while peaceful Trump supporters are in jail. I don't know. Guess they do stuff to annoy us. No one's talking about the mass food shortage and grocery bill increases in the U.S. barreling toward now. Some people, like Tony, has said he hasn't seen anything. He lives in Florida. So I don't think Florida is going to go through as much stuff because they're getting all their deliveries in their ports. And Oklahoma's farmer message for Biden. So the farmers, the fertilizer is getting harder and harder. Russia made that ammonia nitrate for like 50% of all the fertilizer out there. Now, I don't know if America is going to do something to offset it, but even if they do, they're going to still blame it and raise prices. So Amazon's removing their workers from downtown offices due to the violence in Seattle. So they're saying fully vaxxed Obama tested positive for COVID. DeSantis warns Dems will reimpose COVID restrictions after midterms. So I guess after the midterms, they're going to hit us with some shit again. I don't know. Possible. So they are hiring mercenaries, by the way. They're sending them to Ukraine. What I find really intriguing is now you got like billionaires actually spending money and sending mercenaries to Ukraine. So you got rich people trying to get politically involved where they should mind their own business, just like a lot of these corporations are too politically involved. Stupid shit too. There are things out there that are ridiculous. Like you can't have a Siamese cat anymore because they're Russian, so they are canceled. Siamese cats are canceled in America, I think. Okay, the Feline Association said that because of these atrocities, they felt they had to do something. So even bullshit organizations are getting politically involved. Why? Why, we ask? Because they're being controlled. They're part of the system. And police defense, national security, I don't know. So the Times is denying that this guy was working for them. And Saturday Night Live mocks Biden for strategizing with TikTok stars about Ukraine. So Clarence Thomas, I don't know if you know who this guy is. He's a great judge. And he's basically, he's against all this New World Order shit and Illuminati and all this bullshit. But he sees that there's a lot of judges have been compromised. And so he's talking about it. Let's see what he has to say. Thomas spoke Friday. U2 address sponsored by the Hatchman. My fear isn't for me, but it's for your kids and your young grandkids and the next generation. What are we going to leave them? Are we going to leave them a mess, or are we going to leave them a country? Are we leaving them chaos, or are we going to leave them a court? He said in Salt Lake City. Hey, power to you, Judge Thomas. If you look at the numbers, inflation really started to rise almost exactly when Biden came in the White House. All right, so they're saying as soon as he got in, inflation started. I definitely believe that. I knew it. I put money in oil. I knew I bought oil as soon as he won. I bought oil stocks because I knew the oil was going to shoot up. I didn't think it was going to be that fast. I thought maybe in a year we'd be paying $4 or $5 a gallon. Looks like we're paying, in California, they're paying $7 already. Looks like it's going to go up to about 10, I think. Iran's revolution takes credit for rocket attack on U.S. base. These guys now, I don't know if it's fake, it's real. They're speaking out loud. I don't believe it. I believe if you hit American soldiers, we will destroy you. I don't think we're going to put up with any shit like that, but they're just fake news. They're trying to take credit. Venezuela for we're begging Venezuela and Iran for what? For gas? Why don't we just drill our own? So LeBron James declared an officer in Delhi shooting guilty. A grand jury just cleared him. I don't know what that's about. Without a super green pass, this is in Italy, children are no longer able to train with their friends in their favorite sports. So if you don't have the super green pass in Italy, I guess your kid can't go outside and in an organized little league or whatever, soccer league, universities, high schools and stuff. They can't play. See? So Italy, really, I don't know how the Italian people are taking it. I guess they're soft too now. Kind of like of Americans are now. We're soft. I mean, if this shit happened back in the 80s, I think we would have flipped the whole city upside down with this bullshit with the diaper and all this shit. You lose your job and all this bullshit that they're doing to us. Now they're taking, the airlines are taking all the pilots and supposedly and all the stewardesses back to work that didn't get the boogeyman. And they didn't get that magic. And now they're taking them back. So all those people that got it saying, what? They're coming back to work? Yeah, because they need them. You know how hard it is to train people to do those jobs? You can't replace a pilot like just snap your fingers. How many people could fly a plane, you know? The best chance in 20 years, take this guy out. Here he is, Lindsey Graham. Calls for assassination. So there must be something going down in Ukraine that this guy is real scared shit to come out. Maybe he was laundering a lot of his money there. Something's weird. Why is he so scared that he's actually calling for an assassination? I mean, is he trying to bully Putin? I mean, if Putin got this guy in the room, he smack him around, right? So the Atlantic wants to know that climate change will be severely impacted if there was a nuclear war. Duh, no shit, Sherlock. Well, we're going to worry about climate change if there's nukes going off? Come on now. I mean, this is the shit they're throwing at you. These guys claiming ballots weren't counted because they were too tired. President Trump knows McConnell back Durant and John McCain. All right. Fake news said my personality will get us into war, but actually my personality is what kept us out of war. I agree with that. This guy can't answer questions anytime you ever see him. He doesn't give an answer. He just gives bullshit. He just answers. His answers for a question are answers for something else. It's not even for the question they ask him. Here's the guy that loves to dance, the Ukrainian president. Let me show you guys again. I love showing this video because it's ridiculous that this guy is the president. Look at him. Watch. So that's the president of Ukraine. Could you imagine they had Trump in an outfit like that dancing? You would never hear the end of it. It'd be on the news 24/7. I don't even think you'd be seeing anything else but that. All right. So this judge is ordering emails to get turned over. She'll probably get a phone call and she'll change her attitude. They'll threaten her. Now this guy, the prime minister, wants to deal with COVID-19 like it's the flu now. They're trying to ease up. Maybe he has to get reelected too. So this guy is the second Obama economic advisor to blame Biden for the inflation. Play a victim, refuse to turn the election routers. World Empire, Republic of Madison, Cawthorn. Now this guy's he's handicapped. He's in a wheelchair. Real great guy, I think. He's the only one who really speaks up. Incredibly evil Ukrainian government during campaign stopped Rhino Lindsey Graham, condemns him immediately. So this guy he was in the military. I think he was in the military too. He knows what's going down. Israel is intervening. Do they mean the Khazarian mob or do they mean Israel? So now let's go far left here. Let's look at the CNN news. Let's see what they got to say today. Here, you wanna go far left? Let's do it. Here we go. Russia's requesting military assistance. They're showing gas went up, but they're not showing $7 a gallon in California, are they? Or supplier halt operation in Sichuan, China locks down tech hub. So here you go. You got a lot of different supplier things going on. Let's see what they got. Like, we care who won the Academy Award things. Doesn't really matter. So they're just looking to keep you occupied. They're not talking about anything important. Let's just see if we can see maybe they have a tab. Trending, tricks, Tom Brady. Oh, here. Let's see the Ukraine. Live updates. Russian airstrikes hit large military base near western city of Lviv. 5 p.m. Now, these photos you see, you're going to have to question them and fact check them because a lot of these pictures are old pictures they're claiming from different wars and all kinds of stuff. Now, something like this, probably this is real. I mean, makes sense. 2.8 million people left the country. You blame them? Who would want to stay there? You know? And there are probably some fires in some, but we don't know. Like, we always have to question, what year is this? Did this happen just recently? And if it did, why would Russia blow up that building? What was in that building? Was that a human trafficking network in there? Was that a lab? Or was it just a freak? The missile missed its target? I mean, I don't think were there snipers in that building shooting at Russian soldiers? Like, what's the story? The building just ain't going to get shot for no reason. You don't waste ammo shooting innocent people in tanks. I don't think that's what Russia does. I don't think most soldiers would do that unless something is happening. Now, this picture could be an old. We don't even know if this is real. Like, when was this picture? We don't know. It could be real. Yeah, look, they show you. Look, did they really put makeup on her and put a tear in her eye? Like, look at that. Like, why don't you blow the tear up? Like, I could see it. Like, really. This is like what they do, man. They sell. They're salesmen. They are salesmen. Look, they got the lady. They're taking it down in the fire truck. Like, look, on the ladder. She looks like she couldn't walk 2 feet. And they got this lady. I don't know how they got her out. Yeah, everything. A pregnant woman. And they got her on a stretcher. And, this is like, we're supposed to this is what we're supposed to see. And makes us feel bad, It could be true. Not saying it ain't. But it's definitely drama. Look at it. That's drama. They're selling you, man. They're a bunch of used car salesmen, these journalists. And there we go again. More the same drama. They love drama, Yeah. This could be, is this from recent or is this an old video? That's what I like to know. Because I watched the thing and they were talking about a lot of these videos aren't real. You don't know what to believe. This looks like a junkyard. I don't know. They're saying these were buildings. Don't know. Don't know. Don't know. Don't know what to believe. Believe in half of what you see, not everything. I'm sure some of these pictures are truth. They're not going to lie about every single thing. Snake Island building is damaged. Now they're claiming 13 died, and then there's another thing out that's saying there were 80-something men on there, and none of them died. They just surrendered, which would make more sense. If a Navy warship had with their cannons pointed at my building on an island like that, why would I tell them to go F themselves? I mean, come on. I want to get blown up. I mean, really? Not like it's a fair fight. I wouldn't even have a chance, right? So why would I actually push that envelope? Let's see what Mr. Gates has on his network here. So they're talking about basketball, football. Time is running out for trapped Ukrainians. Red Cross, Germany to buy U.S.-made F-35s to replace aging bombers. So, United States basically is in the arms business. That's what we sell. We really don't import anything but destruction, weapons, bombs. Trump says supporters should lay down their very lives to fight CRT. Well, I just say we get rid of all these people in the schools that run these schools, and we won't have to worry about the bullshit. Literally all spoilers. Who gives a shit about that? Race, because see, they try to keep you occupied, Microsoft. Cattle are on the road. Show you a lot of sports. They try to keep you distracted. True scale map comparing Russia to Africa blows people's minds. Have no idea. Romney slams Gabbard for parroting Russian propaganda. So she's talking about these labs in Ukraine. So it's propaganda and they're treacherous lies. Everything's treacherous lies. Horoscope, who gives a shit? So they're showing that a Chernobyl power plant trying to put fear of, nuclear chaos. Who cares about sports, Mr. Gates? Is that all you got to show me? People, they want you distracted. They want you watching football. I still love football. I won't even watch it ever again for what they've done to the NFL. And people say, well, I'm still going to watch it. Well, you got to draw a line somewhere. And the NFL drew their line, all the things they were doing. So I drew my line. And I think the athletes today are all prima donnas anyway. They hurt their little pinky and they want to sit out and collect $40 million. The Fed meets. And the fire consultant comment about Venus and Serena Williams during Critics' Choice Awards. Don't know what that's about. We'll go back to that lady. Highly pathogen bird flu now in almost a quarter of the United States. So bird flu, chickens, poultry, prices are going up. Asteroid half the size of a giraffe strikes Earth off the coast of Iceland. Yeah, okay. Really? Is this all you can tell us? Let's see what else they got. The Queen is reportedly heartbroken over Prince Harry's daughter. Their chance to meet is next to zero. Media firemen and Biden responsible for high inflation. Well, not when you got this girl. Listen, I'm telling you right now, you ever need a bullshit artist, you hire the press secretary for Biden, man. She is one of the best bullshit artists I ever seen. She never answers a question directly. Always gives a roundabout answer. Hey, look at this bull. Let's look at this. This looks funny. All right, let's put this on. And, yeah. I'd like to know what country that is. Is that Mexico? Oh, we got more stuff here. Oh, look at this. This is crazy. So we got an elephant. The girl's petting the elephant, which is dangerous. And bada bing, she gets won. Oh, what was in the water there? Here's a lady with a bear. These people, like, who the hell would stand there next to a bear? Like, are they out of their mind, these people? This guy let's see what he got. He got kicked by a horse. I don't know if you ever got kicked by a horse. I haven't, but I've heard of people that have, man. It's like a sledgehammer hitting you. And there was one in the water. What's this guy going to pull up an alligator? Let's see. It's a gator. Yeah, that's some scary shit if you see an alligator coming out of the water. That was a monkey that fell in. There was one near a beach. I don't know where it was. I'm going to try to find it. Here we go. What is this? What was that? Was that a shark or some shit? Oh, look at that. Hammer shark. Yeah, let's blow that up. I want to see that. And there we go. Let's see this. They go in the water. Look at that shark. Damn. That thing is big. Imagine him in the water. He's only up to his waist. And that shark's right out there. How many of us have been to the beach? You figure, shark can't get this close to the shore. Well, guess what? They can. So here's more. They had a picture that was showing a sniper in Ukraine, right? And they're showing him he's got his gun, he's shooting. And he had the lid on the scope still. So this is the shit they sell you. I don't know if you ever seen this. They put Coca-Cola in and they make an explosion. They put something else in there and the shit just blow. There you go. I guess that's what goes on in your stomach sometimes, huh? With Coca-Cola. This shit's going. I think he added dry ice. Who knows what he added in there. I mix these chemicals to make the explosion, so I guess this guy's got a lot of hits. People want to see that shit. There's more Ukraine. Make you feel bad. If this shit is true, I do feel bad, but we don't know. I mean, is this staged? I mean, they show that girl that's pregnant, like, everywhere they can. Like, that's their best thing. Finally, they're showing actually soldiers. Like, they look kind of like soldiers now fighting, not just civilians as human shields. But who knows? What are they shooting at? Is there anybody they're actually shooting at? I don't know. I find this whole Ukraine thing, that country's been in turmoil for a long time. This didn't start because Putin went in there for a big, it's an important reason why he went in there. And it's not what they're telling us. And they're hiding everything he says, so they won't let you hear his side of the story. So, but that's the way it is. They'll let you see this guy, this is the guy, he's their president. Here he is. Once again, there he is, the president of Ukraine. So that's who they like. This is who they put in office. And the people didn't vote that guy in. No way. All right. More propaganda, showing planes. I kind of seen it all with this Microsoft. They're just heavy-duty Ukraine. It's crazy. Yeah, Kardashian wearing the tiniest, miniest dress. Are you kidding me? Like, she cares? With all her money, she'll wear no clothes. It don't really matter. I don't know. People heard Brady's coming back. But anyway, so we looked at both sides. I'm going to end this show now. I appreciate all you guys coming down, showing your support. And I just want to tell you, you and your family be safe. And may the Almighty God bless you. And Pops out.